We have a Godzilla trilogy of videos to complete. We must keep our masks on and be on alert. Yeah, cause in Fallout, all I've needed was my mask. Or is that just a late-stage mutation? I guess running in the opposite direction is all I should be thinking about, where in your stomach starts to eat you from the inside. But don't worry, they have a very interesting solution.
We have to check the health of residents around the highest radiation areas one by one. If, according to our checks, the person starts showing these symptoms, we have to kill him.
If you felt uncomfortable coughing in public before, you certainly would now. I had to be disturbed by this opening, and now you do too. I thought this little face was funny at first, until we zoomed out, and I hate it. They're going to find out the hard way that this is not a whale. Where a man in a suit, but I still remember you, was what we heard in the first entry. Now is it our cameraman who said it, or the person he's looking at? And is he referring to Godzilla, or the person on the street? Or is Godzilla the one who said it? So many questions. Not getting separated. Bear with me, folks. This is going to be a lot of exposition. I've tried to make my voice not dead, but this is a long recording, and it's dead. Are able to maintain some level of control, whether it be after being transformed, or what. But that's what it sort of sounds like. Anyways, I've got a Godzilla cult ritual coming up, and I can't be late. Right, now you can pass through. Even though the book had child murder, but I mean, come on. It doesn't look like just the Raptors got out, however— oh, fuck me! We are told the very honest truth that 14 men totally did not lose their lives on August 5th, 1997 due to a Stegosaurus encounter.
We definitely did not have 14 men die from a Stegosaur encounter in August 5th, 1997.
Sure, buddy. Said to be a very calm and lovely animal during the day, but one gets especially rowdy and hungry for flesh during the night. I don't know about calm and lovely, but I mean, well, we'll see. Is shown 5 crucial and life-saving steps to survive a potential dinosaur attack. My first step would be to crawl into a ball and accept defeat, as I would be too struck with fear. But luckily this isn't. 3 is to stay calm. Yeah, okay, good luck. My god, I think I almost shit my pants. This guy getting this close and flashing his light is crazy, I tell you. I'm not surprised when this happens. I definitely just shit my pants. Yet, I have that dream to tell you guys who stuck around. This is being narrated directly off of my notes document, unedited, so if there is some silly wordings, it's because it was more than likely 4 AM and I was half asleep and still recovering from fear. But here we go. This starts at my house and I'm with a couple of friends. And it's like one night a year dinosaurs come back and roam around for whatever reason. I don't have the answers. But we're preparing and shit, and we are stacking up on food and stuff, and honestly, I'm horrified. I'm starting to not be able to handle it. It isn't nighttime yet, but we are starting to put some shit in my car as a backup, just in case my house doesn't work and things fuck up. And then lo and behold, a couple minutes later, there's a T-Rex walking around in my backyard. This of course makes Jax, my tiny dog, let out a couple barks, which made me almost choke his ass out. Jaden, my loud friend, was also with us, so it was a mix of fear, but also slight curiosity of peeking ever so slightly out of the windows. I guess Jax had a bark that was a little too loud, and the T-Rex was like, "This is it, boys," and started ramming his ass into the house. Then suddenly out of nowhere, my father in his big truck does this literal impossible ramp up into the backyard to speed around the T-Rex and distract it to get it to chase him. But once he gets around the house, which is out of the dinosaur's line of sight, he does this Tokyo Drift Fast and Furious move where he drifts behind the trees as a hiding spot. I guess only a couple seconds after that it was morning and time for the dinosaurs to go back. Thank fuck, this was terrifying. I fucking hate dream dinosaurs. Yeah, clearly I wasn't very happy when I woke up from that. Hiking safety. Very crucial, as hiking can be very dangerous. Out stands for Fear the Forest. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you might want to fasten your seatbelts here. The master ablations augment its strength. So you're telling me we have a demonic spirit that has completely claimed ownership of these woods? I'd like to see his paperwork. It's these mice go through remind me of those violently angering Roblox games. According to Luke, we don't look like strangers, so we must be okay. Thank God, I was worried I was gonna have to turn myself in real quick. Child gets thrown at us.
It was too late, Granny locked the door and saw her face, it wasn't her.
It's just evacuate, aka haul ass. This in turn helped Genesis discover a new comet. Sir Henry so far has been successful at reading the future. How way in the beginning? Wait a minute. Is Luke and Dan Ranger Luke and Ranger Dan? I feel silly for potentially just now picking up on that. This is a park ranger training video. Oh boy, I can't wait for this job. We're introduced to Ranger Craig, who's going to be helping us out today. I already love this guy. Craig is eager to get to work just like us. But first, we must go over some basics. It's even said to use aggression if they refuse. I don't know who would refuse, because if I saw this in the forest, I would have been gone already. Is when safe areas become unsafe. That's analog horror in a nutshell right there. Ranger Craig is doing a fantastic job here. It's time for the Rangers to subdue the hunting gambit. How the hell are we gonna do that? Oh, I guess we're gonna find out right now. Don't have another Ranger with Craig is beyond me. It's even said later that strangers hunt in packs, so unless Craig is John Wick, I'd want a buddy with him. But it's a verb that translates roughly to altering or turning into of some sorts. So I would imagine it would be more like the fire sword turns to stone. Funnily enough, I went through all that trouble to translate the phrase when a quick comment search would have had it right there for me. Anyways, A for effort, I guess. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a classic case of angels versus demons. When it comes to religion, I am probably the worst person to talk to about it because my intelligence stat for religion is probably around 1. So I don't really pick up right away to religious allegories, and unfortunately they are used all over analog horrors. So I was actually shocked I was able to kind of pick up on that layer. All I can say at the end of watching this is, wow. Most importantly, however, is that Ranger Craig managed to survive. But other than that, I'm putting on my park ranger outfit, and I'm getting to work. Does anybody remember Jack Frost? No, not the 1979 one. That's too early. No, not the 2012 one. That one's too far. I'm talking about the one that, oddly enough, really scared me as a kid. Now, funnily enough, this isn't the right one either. I'm talking about this one. This movie was about this kid's dad who dies in a snow traffic accident and then comes back to life as a talking snowman who runs around and tries to do cool dad things. Actually fucking terrifying. Now, I didn't see the actual 1997 horror Jack Frost film, which came out just a year before the other one under the exact same name, until I was like a teenager, so that didn't really scare me at all. To be clear, I am obviously not currently still scared of Dad Jack Frost, even though he does still look a little creepy now that I'm looking at him here. And I gotta say, Greg, maybe it's jammed for a reason. Or it's just nature's way of saying screw this specific part of Minnesota.
So cold.
For anyone who was up late at night watching K83, I pray for their sanity. Presented with a more searching, he finally comes across our culprit. At least I think. It isn't very clear, but we learn our mysterious voice doesn't only say, "Can you help me with this?"
Thanks for the help, bud.
I'm being honest. Except maybe the heat, I guess, could melt it, maybe? Who knows? I am no snowologist. Like that. It sounds like we have the ring lady using her abilities here. The mere to say, these first couple are pretty nice looking. The embrace, on the other hand, not so much. No windows, no doors, collapsed roof, no heat, silence, and no escape. Honestly, actually, sounds like my type of vacation. Dr. Robert Chandra. I just said that wrong. Which takes us back to Dr. Robert... No, I did say that right. Chandra? Fuck! Except, last we checked, Darcy was uh-oh. But it doesn't take long for tornado sirens to flare up, and for Carl to start moving faster. Luckily, spring is only about a week away, so our fear of snow monsters can rest easy. Chandra? How the fuck?
Name pronunciation, Chandra.
I was right. It's Sesame Street. My good friend, Sid the Science Kid. Hell, even these creepy bastards. Besides the last example, there was honestly something already off about this whole thing. Gooby looks straight out of Smiling Friends, and the screen is constantly glitching out. But that's not the purpose of today's episode. We gotta learn the numbers, learning the alphabet. He goes through the whole thing one time, so I don't see how my kid will be able to remember this right off the bat. You're telling me I'm gonna have to also teach them? Once he takes a much more realistic, haunting look at Gooby, to which we are then shown Michaela's missing report yet again. Gooby isn't looking as friendly as he used to, I gotta say. As always, broken dish, little girl, used razor, and toenail clippings. Weird. Something like I just had the secrets of the universe flash into my brain when he presents his favorite shape. Do you want to see my favorite shape? That was a whole bunch of information flashed very quickly. So let's rewind a bit and see what we can find. And to what he says. Do not trust him. He lies. Well, I could have told you that much. We hunt them down, and is also a very skilled kidnapper who is able to abduct these kids straight from inside their homes, even while other family members are around. Or, and this is what I'm still leaning towards, are Goop. This time, his text translates to, "Listen to what I tell you, pig." Jesus, Gooby, that was incredibly rude. We get more spazzes out saying all animals have teeth, which isn't true. Our character in the mix, here to help us out in learning about sounds. I know the name of this cartoon was always Gooby and Friends, so it's nice to finally get introduced to one of his pals, even if he never says anything and just sits and stares into my soul. Also, looking back at it, I think this guy came out of Gooby's mouth. He literally threw up a new person. Interesting. With the carefree abandon. There we go. Other end is Center Frame.
Big one, take us behind those rocks.
Moving behind the rocks!
Instead of a bunch of numbers, we have to decode. What the hell did I write? Instead of a bunch of numbers we have to decode, this time we have letters. But thankfully, Google is a godsend. The random are using their computers. Maybe this time we are learning about senses, and all his friends are here to help. Oddly being honest, running this through all the decoders I could find wasn't getting me anything. But luckily, we got some higher IQ folks in the comments to decode it for me. It's parents. Now when I say this has a scene with aggressive flashing lights, I mean it. So we're gonna save you the headache and move the text elsewhere. But nonetheless, this message we get is incredibly revealing. Learning basic shapes. Episode 4. This episode acts someone breaking into the house and physically abducting the children. Our child places. Time to get to work. A lot of mention of teeth throughout the series. We have the direct reference to that teeth claymation. Then we have Gooby saying all animals have teeth. And now he is feasting upon the teeth. What is it with teeth in this series, I wonder? We also have sounds like the spirits of our missing kids are managing to communicate with each other. Our next message translates to, "Hello Joshua, come play with Gooby."
No. Wait.
Sinister smile stretching across Gooby's face, or Joshua's. I may not be correct in the slightest here, but I do have an idea.
I may not have a brain, gentlemen, but I have an idea.
He feeds off of that manifested energy that comes from people's imagination. He's basically a stand. Self. Maybe even show it to your kids to help them learn. Kidding. Or am I? That'll just about do it for today's video, comments, or community Discord, where just like Gooby, I'm hiding inside your screens. But if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go petition that this series gets put on the YouTube Kids homepage.
Oh, not good.